Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to present our work that shows the MR-guided high-intensity focused ultrasound-induced large volume hypothermia is feasible in deep and superficial targets in a porcine model. As you are aware, hypothermia increased the temperature to 40 to 45 degrees centigrade and maintained the temperature for up to 1 hour. Our group has been working on developing hypothermia technique using a commercially available system, shown in your left side. And the video on the right side shows the real-time MR thermometry. Through the feedback control, this system can achieve localized heating of deep-seated tumors and keep the target temperature within the hypothermic range for up to 1 hour. Our objective is to first characterize the temperature field of MR-guided HIFU-induced hypothermia, and the second goal is to characterize the tissue damage resulted from hypothermia using contrast-enhanced MRI and histology. Let's move on to the methods. We performed 11 hypothermia sessions to superficial target and 8 sessions to deep target, with the peak laying in their lateral position on the HIFU table. For temperature control, hypothermia was regulated by target temperature within TROI in the target depth, as well as a user-defined maximum temperature threshold, defined by shown in the orange color. If any voxels in the beam path in the threshold plane exceeds the maximum temperature threshold, the sonication power would be turned off until the voxels cool down to below the maximum threshold temperature. Here's one example of how we perform the temperature characterization. The TROI was denoted by red dashed circle in the axial MR images in the first picture. And the second image shows the spatial temperature homogeneity in average temperature map. The third image quantifies the time in range maps, which refers to the maps of voxels that stays within 40 to 45 degrees centigrade for 10, 20, or 25 minutes during the whole heating period. And the fourth image presents a temperature curve during the half-hour hypothermia session and cooling period, in which we can see the maximum temperature, average temperature, and the minimum temperature all stays pretty stable for the whole heating period. After quantifying the temperature within the TROI, the results show that the difference between the achieved and the desired temperature averaged to minus 0.4 degrees centigrade. This agrees with published guidelines of less than 1 degree centigrade. The precision averaged 1.2 degrees centigrade and the uniformity averaged 1.5 degrees centigrade, both showing that the TROI temperature remains within the hyperthermic range. The temporal variation averaged 0.6 degrees centigrade, showing the temperature stability across all hyperthermia sessions. We also calculate the thermal dose, CM483T90 and CM483T average, which average 0.9 minutes and 12.7 minutes respectively. The acquired CM483T90 was slightly lower than the suggested thermal dose of larger than 1 minute in our published guidelines for 1 hour hypothermia, but a higher thermal dose could be obtained when using a relatively higher target temperature or a longer heating duration. Both of them were potentially adjustable. For temperature field characterization, TIR map appear to be more superficial when the threshold plane located in both the near field and far field compared to when the threshold plane includes the near field alone. By quantification, up to a 22.5 millimeter sagittal TIR20 difference was obtained when the threshold plane includes both fields compared to it only included the near field. As for the tissue damage characterization, in 10 out of 19 sessions, the contrast-enhanced MRI shows abnormally perfused hyperintensive regions within the TROI as shown in this image. For histopathological analysis, in 10 out of 16 sessions, we detect acute myofiber degeneration and necrosis in the heating volume, as shown in the first image. It's characterized by swelling and hypereosinophilia of myofibers with variable vacuolation, fragmentation, contraction of band necrosis, loss of cross striatums, or nuclear pyknosis or loss. In 2 out of 16 sessions, we detect edema characterized by mild separation of myofiber compared to the control, and they are all accompanied with myofiber degeneration. In conclusion, MR-guided HIFU-induced large volume hyperthermia is feasible in both deep and superficial target with satisfactory temperature characteristics. Target tissue histology shows some localized tissue damage within the hyperthermic volume. Finally, I would like to thank my advisors, Dr. Michael Altman and Dr. Hong Chen, who guided me and helped me a lot during the experimentation. I also like to thank everyone who helped me during this project, including teams from Radiation Oncology Department, Chen Ultrasound Lab, Comparative Medicine Department from Washington University, and help from Bar Jewish Hospital and Ari from Profound Medical Incorporation. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate you take the time to listen to my presentation. Thank you.